All right, you guys, I know why you're here, okay? So I'm not going to be before you long. I just want to really quickly tell you about Skillshare before we get into this video that's really good with Karen and Miles. I know you guys are so excited to see this, but really quickly, I just want to let you know about Skillshare because as you know, I don't know, we've been partners, child. I've been partnering with Skillshare for like 3 or 4 months. You know, we've done and learned a lot of things. And this month, as you guys know, we have moved officially into KevOnStage Studios, which I'm really, really excited about. And I am part of the committee, the team that's going to do the renovation. So of course, I went to Skillshare to figure out what I can learn to up my game as far as creating a space that is aesthetically pleasing, that has harmony to the space and all of those things. So what I did was search for a class titled Style Your Space, Creative Tips and Techniques for Interior Design. As y'all know, I'm a little, bootleg interior designer over here. So I took this class by Emily Henderson. I absolutely enjoyed it. She taught us how to harmonize the space, how to coordinate colors, how to create balance and symmetry in the space. Really, really good tips, again, for when you're doing any sort of decorating. And so that's what I did. I love it. I want you guys to jump on board with me taking the Skillshare classes as you can. And what is so awesome, because I'm so enthused and happy about you joining this with me, is that the first 1,000 people to click the link in my description box will get free premium membership. And the best part about it is that these classes are ad-free. They're constantly updating their repertoire with additional classes for creatives like you, creatives like me, to learn as we are going along in our creative journey. It's freaking fantastic. I'm not quite sure why you haven't clicked the link in my bio yet when there's 1,000 people that will get free premium membership. I'm not, what are you waiting for? Like, what was the reason? What is the reason you haven't clicked, okay? What is the reason, okay? And let's not forget that with an annual subscription, their membership is less than $10 per month. This is like a win-win-win situation. So again, what are you waiting for? Click the link, get your life, and then stay tuned, girl, because we finna have, we finna have a good conversation with Karen and Miles from Married at First Sight, season 11, 10? I don't remember, child, but it's a good conversation. So make sure you stay tuned for the conversation and don't forget to click the link in my bio. Thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring today's video.
Can you hear us yet?
In sync. Yeah, we're good now.
Okay. That's my boy, Big J. Big Joshua guy.
All right, Joshua.
All right.
Hey.
All right. All right.
Don't ever say that again.
Oh, okay. Don't you ever say
I
that
didn't feel
again.
right saying it.
But I really didn't like it.
All right. I'm gonna keep saying.
Look, Josh is like, I gotta shake my head now. I have to start over. I want to be different.
Me too, low key.
I want to be different.
I want to be a baby.
Joshua, we read?
I want to start over.
Is that
Tell me
that
when you're
screen recording?
My screen is. Yeah, my Zoom's recording.
Yep.
Yes.
All hearts and minds clear.
All hearts and minds are clear.
We ready.
All right.
Amen.
Do a countdown or something.
And 5, 4,
Make sure you go silent on the
3.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to. I'm keeping all that in.
Yes, keep it in.
Welcome back to The Bald and the Beautiful. I am Melissa, MrsKevOnStage, and I am joined by these beautiful people here with me, starting with
Kev on stage, cuz I'm the dead homie.
Hey, that chick Angel. Banger.
Tank.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all you get.
Moniker. That's it.
That's it.
Boom.
My
And
last
listen,
name.
Known as Marcus.
Listen, y'all. So our first season doing The Bald and the Beautiful
Yes.
was with Married at First Sight season
11.
season. Thank you.
11, New
Season
Orleans.
11 in New Orleans. And today,
On this day.
We got our people. Now that we are on camera, we is going to change our tune from what we said when we was reviewing
yes.
the show.
I'm gonna air everybody out.
I don't air myself out. You ain't got to.
No, let me do it. It's gonna sound bad coming from
Karen
me.
and Miles, all we said was we love them both equally
Together?
the same every
Smell
day.
it?
all the time.
Huh? Hold on, look, can I? No, we're gonna get into it.
let's get into it. Karen and Miles, thank you guys so very much for joining us today on The Bald and the Beautiful. We're super, super excited. If you cannot tell, our energy have gone through the roof.
No,
In
it's not
addition-
just the mimosa.
It's
The mimosas.
Hey.
Oh, y'all got mimosas too?
Hey.
They are people.
Cheers. Virtual cheers.
if you've
There we
never
go.
seen Angel create a cocktail, you should definitely watch Crafts and Cocktails on her channel,
Yes.
where she adds 97% alcohol.
And then a splash
And
of.
then the
She
other
got mad at me
three-
for put. She didn't even put all that orange juice
He
in there.
did. Look at that's orange juice with some bubbles.
Oh,
That's
okay,
not a
all right,
mimosa.
shit, fine. So we're super excited to have you guys with us. Obviously, you guys have stayed married since the end of the show. When did it end for you guys in real life?
And real, yeah.
Oh, it was a long
It
time.
was like July
Oh wow.
July 2020.
2020. Yeah, July 2020.
Oh wow.
Oh.
So wait a minute, when's y'all's your anniversary?
February.
Like 2 weeks. February.
Oh.
Y'all about to be a year in.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because it was like early
Early
pandemic.
on.
Because
Early
they had that,
panorama.
that panini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
bread.
Happy
Yeah,
anniversary. Early
congratulations,
anniversary.
happy anniversary. Before we actually, maybe we can use that question as our first question, because first of all, a pandemic in and of itself
Yeah.
is a real life whole situation.
When you
Man,
already,
all
when
the
you've
way.
been married for a long time,
Listen,
it's a
Angel, me and
situation.
Melissa about to be 17 in. That pandemic was like, y'all want to see what it's really finna be?
Yeah.
You
What's
know,
it supposed
for
to be?
real, look at her every day. Every day. No out of town. No
None of
work,
it.
no school, no freeway.
And then-
No pillow, one bed.
so y'all doing
By
it-
myself.
So y'all had to do it as strangers in being married with the panoramic center pandemic.
Yeah, I remember
Pentatonics.
they did the video. Miles in there doing push-ups and setups on the
Man.
camera. I said, "There's only so much you can do."
There's only so much. There's only so much.
So tell us about that whole experience going through quite literally a worldwide pentatonics in the midst of an experiment and being newlyweds. That's like a lot of pressure.
And
coupled-
working.
And work.
Karen
and
was
working.
at work.
Yes, she
And,
was.
and low key going through a whole entire civil rights movement.
Yes.
Like couple all that together, it's a lot of pressure.
Y'all had a lot of
anxiety.
adversity.
It's
Yes.
a lot of
Yeah.
stacked against you. So can you walk us through like that?
Yo, the panty has really been like it's been real, man. And I think the first month of us being married, we were regular. So life felt somewhat normal, but we had cameras following us everywhere, right?
Mhm.
But literally we've been married for 10 months or 10 months in the pandemic. Like haven't been able to go nowhere for real.
Wow.
We've been
More than two,
watching a lot of almost 11, no?
almost 20.
In a pandemic, man.
Oh, in the pandemic.
Yeah. Anyway, so we've been watching a bunch of Netflix, eating a lot, working out, having a good time. But it definitely was not easy by any means.
That's definitely added experience to y'all. Like,
Yeah.
Y'all
Y'all-
been married
a lot of
3
people can't
years.
say
Yeah,
that.
3
Y'all been
years.
married
Y'all
for
been married
34
3 years. It's just
In
technically is
panoramic
11.
years, it's 3 years.
The pandemic is exponential marriage.
There you
Yes.
go. Absolutely.
Everybody can
Absolutely.
tack on 3 years if they
3 to
married.
5 years.
We had 20 now. It was
Dog
17 before.
What you say, Miles?
You get about 3 to 5 years because of the pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Three.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So
Minimum.
celebrate y'all's 5th anniversary. in two-
All right. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like we've lived we lived it in real life. We lived it watching y'all watch it. We lived and now it's people are realizing, oh, they're still married. And it's like, now we're actually living that part. And we still haven't really been able to spend time with each other's outside time with each other's families.
Mm.
How open or closed is New Orleans?
Okay, so put it this way. We're in phase 1 for what people are supposed to be doing. But they're trying to put us back in schools. So people are still going out and drinking without masks on. So I don't know what phase we're in, but but we're supposed to be social distancing and wearing masks, right?
Got it.
So wait a minute, what are you doing? Because go ahead, Karen. I'm sorry. Say it again.
We can still go out to eat and stuff, but no parties. We're limited to 10 people, 25,
Got it.
things like that.
Wait a minute, don't you teach in schools, or have you been virtual this entire time?
Yeah, I'm an administrator, and so we went back in school in September. We stayed through Christmas break, and we haven't been back since Christmas break. So we've been virtual this whole time.
Oh,
But we're about to go back in on Monday. We're about to go back on Monday for
Go back
Oh.
in?
Yeah, back in.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
best of luck to
Yeah,
you.
they done
sir.
locked down California. Like,
California,
y'all ain't going
what
back.
school?
I don't think
Y'all
the kids
ain't
are going to
going
go back
nowhere.
this year.
No, they're not. Oh
Yeah.
no, you go ahead. Let them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's out.
We're smart.
So of course, like I said at the beginning, the Bald and the Beautiful started because I actually got hip to Married at First Sight during quarantine. I watched season, help me,
10,
no, nine.
That was Dharma and Greg.
With Deanna and Greg and Iris.
and
Yeah.
Greg,
Yes.
is what
Deanna
he
and
just said.
Greg. And
We remember the show about the black people in it. So that was Deanna and Greg, and then we used to carry them out.
Right, yes, that's how we know it.
Brianna and Vince.
And let me tell you something. Always black. I'm rooting for everything black. Because the seasons that I remember American Idol include Fantasia.
Fantasia and Ruben Studdard.
Come on.
I was off for a couple of years.
That's all I know.
That's what we know.
So anyway, I got hip to it then. We've been reviewing it obviously ever since. And so I know that I was unaware of the world of Married at First Sight and how many like people follow.
Yes.
There are avid fans.
Man, they the realest. They the realest.
Bruh.
Yeah.
They be pissed off. I just finished the episode. Y'all have not released your episode yet. Do it now.
They take it personally when they haven't seen an update from us. I'm like, I ain't seen it.
I mean, they asked us, like, the first it was, Miles, how could you stay married to her? Blah, 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 blah. Then it's, I'm so happy y'all are married. We all having kids. I'm like, damn, can we?
Oh, yeah, they gonna be in Karen's uterus until she pop out some babies. They gonna be in your uterus, girl.
That's what I can't wait to address.
What's that?
All the haters.
Yeah, so let's start there.
I'm gonna let y'all go first. Let's start with the misconceptions that you have found, the ones that you want to address. You don't have to address haters, but the ones that you feel comfortable with addressing, the biggest misconceptions that you have found watching the show that viewers got as an impression of, you guys as a couple, of Miles, of Karen, like, tell us.
Because I'm gonna be honest, I had Karen pegged wrong.
I'm gonna tell them.
No, let me air myself out.
We gonna let them go first.
Angel want to take the belt and whoop herself.
No.
Yeah,
They're gonna go.
They're gonna go, pegged wrong.
And then I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna push it to the left.
All right,
you're right.
Let's start with Karen.
Yes, go ahead. Tell us the misconceptions.
How much time we got?
Whatever you got. Go and get into it, girl.
Speak on time, Karen.
Speak on it.
Ooh. I honestly don't know where to start. I feel like there were so many misconceptions from the season sneak peek.
Oh, man.
Like it started immediately. I really don't know where to start. The masculinity thing.
Talk about it, Karen.
Huge misconception. One, I never ever equate anything with masculinity to someone's mental health. So I actually work in a healthcare system, and I've set up programs to help treat depression and anxiety. And so literally from the start, I feel like that was a huge misconception in terms of the support I gave Miles in that moment, how I felt about it, how I felt about masculinity. And I think that affected the rest of the entire season.
On the internet, a lot of times, if you're framed a certain way, it's really hard to unframe yourself.
Right.
That's so
from
true.
that way. Even if a comment, on a video says one thing, and a lot of people see that comment first, they'd be like, "That's how I feel too." Even if they went into it blank, they agree with this now.
Yeah, they will easily be influenced by what anybody else says.
Yeah. How do I feel? We don't like Karen. She don't like masculinity.
Okay, we don't like her.
Season now.
Anything else that you wanted to add, or Miles, anything that you wanted to add?
Personally, I hated that part, the masculinity with mental health. I felt like it took away from the work that I had done to be able to share my journey and feel comfortable doing so. Doing that on national TV was big for me.
Sure.
And sharing that with my wife was big for me. And so I think it being equated to masculinity really put a bad taste in my mouth, to be honest with you. I think the other part is how I feel like I'm a pretty emotionally intelligent guy. I feel like I'm pretty good at speaking about my emotions. I can tell you how I'm feeling. But I think that got me played as this soft person that talks about his emotions all the time.
People will say that.
All he wants to do is talk about emotions just because he knows.
I said it.
I'm
gonna air myself out.
I didn't say it, Miles. I said, man, me,
I'm gonna air myself out. I said
it. No, I think the thing about that is one, it makes me seem soft, and that bothered me a little bit. But that's another thing. But two, day to day, Karen's constantly asking me like, "Are you sure you're okay? Are you okay? Like, vent to me. Tell me what's going on. Are you all right?" And I'm like I gotta process my stuff. Then I can talk about it, but I'm not a person that's always talking about my emotions.
Sure.
So I think that part kind of drove me a little bit, just because like it didn't feel like the most accurate depiction of me. And so Miles switched up, and I'm like, "Y'all made me look like I was perfect on TV. I'm not perfect by any means."
Yeah, that's a good point.
So now they're like, "Oh, Miles is rude, or he's disrespectful, or whatever," and I'm like, "I'm human. I'm a well-rounded human." They painted me really well, and I think a lot of those attributes were true. But also, y'all don't see when I'm upset. Y'all don't see when I'm frustrated. Y'all don't see a lot of other things. And so I think that's probably the biggest one I thought of for myself.
Karen, for you, was it hard for women to be like, "Well, shoot, Karen don't want him like that. I love me a Miles. Karen did." Huh?
What you want to say? What you want to say, Marcus?
No. Go, Karen. No.
Sorry. Because the people on the internet picked me. People was like, "I'll take Miles right now, Karen." And then you say yes to the marriage. It was like, God dang it, I had booked a flight to New Orleans. I was over there trying to get Miles, and you gonna change your mind and love him now? So was that hard for you?
It was extremely hard for me.
No.
One, it was annoying because everyone was like, "Oh, she doesn't give him anything and she's rejecting him." And it's like, y'all, he likes me for a reason. Clearly, this isn't the entire picture of our relationship.
Yeah.
Things that people would think I was upset over, like me and him were laughing about, like joking. So it's just, I don't know. It was very hard because I felt like, because everyone was like, "Oh my God, Miles is a great guy," even though at the end of the day, like he said, you're watching someone on reality TV, so you really don't know them from like good or bad, good or bad. And it felt like this assumption that he was like the golden child, and I was trash.
No, you're not trash. You're not trash. You're not trash. You're the golden.
Wow. And that was hard, especially knowing that I'm like, man, I take care of this man. Like, we're not perfect, but we've always taken care of each other. Like, we've always cared about each other. I've shared things with him that like I haven't shared with anyone else. So it was very hard to have people perceive that like I'm undeserving of love, or like come and take my place and save Miles. And that was really hard, especially watching so many Black women jump on that bus.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I know I have friends just like you that are very private. Not to say just like you, because I don't know you personally, but I know I have friends that are private that I can see reacting the same way in that situation of being in front of a bunch of cameras and everybody having the spotlight on them and kind of pulling back a little bit, like, no, it's all these, like, I do it to Angel now. We've been married.
That's him.
Like, she'll lean in for a kiss in public. I'm like,
telling
hey,
you,
hey.
Marcus, Karen, if you needed a cheerleader, Marcus cheered you on the entire season.
Not so much him, because Karen's my friend. But everybody's like, oh, he likes Karen. Why you always defending her? Blah, blah, blah. Because I know people just like her. And for all the people out there like, oh, she need to send Miles my way. My cousin's single. And now y'all still lonely. While she's over there enjoying her Miles that she don't deserve. Now y'all all in their business. And look at you sitting on the couch by yourself. Look at them smiling.
What they doing?
Look at them smiling.
They sitting on the couch.
Sitting on the couch by themselves. Mal smiling, she smiling. You still lonely. You and your cousin and your sister. Get on my goddamn nerves. But I understood.
You know what's funny about that?
What?
They really watching like, he's right.
Yeah.
He is right.
No, even they just like, why you always defend her? Because I understand.
Like, but he saw himself in you.
I was like, I wouldn't be all like, oh, come here. I don't do all that crap. I can't stand to see people kiss in public. It turns my stomach. So I'm not going to do it. And I ain't going to be all on camera putting my business out there. It's like, even though we're in front of the camera, we have a vlog, we have all of that. I'm like, nah, that's enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
This is still us. And I've been on that.
That's another misconception too, though, right? Like, because I'm this emotional guy that like wanted some type of affection. Right?
Yeah.
Some type of affection. I mean, like, everybody wants some affection, right? But it seems like I'm an overly affectionate dude. When in reality, this girl right here, this is the only time I get some space. When I'm in front of a camera, No.
Put it out there. Put it out there.
Right now, I don't get a break. So that's
I'm not a machine.
You know what I think is so
Uncle Phil.
interesting? Yeah, it was. What I think is so interesting is that there was a picture of my family. I use this example all the time. It was me, Kev, Isaiah, and Joe, my two youngest kids, my two kids. Child, I only got two. For real. And we were in Washington. We're sitting at the table, and behind us is the picture, but my head is covering the boys because they're little. So it's just a picture of me and Kev. And there was a comment that said, "You guys are so self-absorbed that you don't even take pictures with your children." And the fact that it was a literal picture and you couldn't see the actual picture also speaks to the figurative word of you don't always see the full picture. Yeah. And I think that is one of the hardest things being on reality TV and the way in which we relate as influencers sharing our lives is that it's easy to get a really great idea of who someone is, but you're never going to get the full picture of who someone is. And so if you are painted a certain light in a certain way, or if someone there's a scenario that happens and now they've pegged you, so to speak, as that, child, that's who you are. Yeah. That's who you are to me. And then you're off the show and you're showing, well, this is the 360 of who I am. People are like, well, hold on a second now.
Well, I like you. What is that? I don't know.
What do you mean this 1 hour show a week is not the entirety of your being?
Yeah.
That's confusing to
not
me.
Even an hour. Not even an hour. If you divide it up just there, it's like 13 minutes of them.
Exactly.
And listen, we go through it a lot. I'm often, and listen, at the end of the day, I am a really serious person, but I'm also can be silly sometimes. God. On occasion. It happens.
Goofy movie.
But all right, enough. But also I think when people see that, they're like, oh, I didn't know she was so funny. But I think that's just part of like, it's the pros and cons, to be honest, of being on this platform. You kind of have to take the good and the bad. Did you want to say something, Angel?
I was just going to say, so when did y'all fall in love? When did that happen for y'all? When did that happen?
I don't know. You looking at me? I don't know.
Hey, don't answer first, Miles. You let her answer.
I wasn't. I was not. I don't know.
It
just happened.
That's beautiful. That's great.
I want to ask something about going back a little bit. About the framing of you. The show comes out, right? You guys really don't respond like on social media until the season is over, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
So you don't really have an opportunity for people of us to know you until we have had 26 episodes. And by that time, it's a lot harder to change your perception of a person at all, right? Yeah. Can you guys speak to that?
You want to go first? I feel like that's really a good, accurate perception of how we've been feeling this whole time, right? So you feel silence. You go through it in real life. You're questioning your thoughts about how you did things or how things could have been different, and then you're watching it. And you're like, okay, I don't remember it happened like that. But then now everybody else is pissed off about some stuff that like you let go. So then I'm thinking, she said I was too emotional. That pissed me off. I'm mad at you right now, right? And so we're quarreling. We're going back
in real life. In real time.
Wow.
In real life, we're sitting there going back and forth like, why you felt like that about me? And she's like, no, I didn't feel like that about you. I'm like, but right there it said you felt that way about me. And this person on social media is saying this and this. Listen. Yeah, I was right? But then at the end of the day, we can't say nothing to that person. We can't clear the air. We can't do none of that. And so we're sitting in that, and we're stuck in the house. Like me and her,
stuck in the house.
Y'all have been married for 5 years.
No, y'all been married for 7. Y'all been married for 7.
Time.
I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot of couples that would not have been able to survive that. If we had to rewatch some stuff that we didn't have control over how it went out, we wouldn't have made it.
Today.
Listen, y'all, we have control over our stuff, and we still be like, ooh, that came out wrong.
Right.
We edit our own video.
Yes.
Look, we didn't watch like most of the season, honestly. I probably watched like the first 3 or 4 episodes.
Don't watch the rest.
And then I tried to watch one more somewhere along the way, but I never finished it. But like, I remember I was watching and I was just like, oh, she's not gonna stay with him. Like,
and I was like, why he staying with her ass,
right,
bro?
right.
Like, why are you staying with her? Meanwhile, looking at her in a bonnet and I'm like, damn, I'm with your ass on.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like
We had to check ourselves. Like, we had to really sit down and be like, we've been through this. We know our real story. We know how strong we are. We know how deep our connection is. Like, we know all of these things. And like, we really had to make an effort to distance ourselves from all
Smart.
That makes so much
That's
sense.
so
I have a
smart.
question. When you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
When you look back or the episodes that you did see, I would imagine it would be an opportunity for a lot of self-reflection and growth as well. Are there things when you look back that you're like, I could have done that better? Or I've learned, like, I see how that came out, and while it wasn't what I intended, I understand the impact. And so I want to do that differently in the future. Do you have those moments?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like I have a ton of moments, just in really articulating my feelings better and like what I'm really feeling. I think that one of the things that I wish I could take back was the use of the word masculinity, you know, reframing it to say, this is what I usually look for in a man that I'm dating. This is what I look for. This is what I want to look for in my husband.
Yeah.
And being able to say, you know, just better words such as, yes, I want you to be able to take initiative. I want you to be able to keep it 100 with me. Like, I think one of the things that a lot of people didn't understand because of how Miles was painted as like, you know, Mr. Perfect, was that, like he said earlier, he wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm here with him in person, and I'm seeing that like there's a piece of him, not in a sense of being fake because he's everything good that you think he is, but there's a piece of him that is not fully settling into like who he really is with me. And it's like people don't see that. And when I'm keeping in mind that we're being filmed too, and this is going to be a long-term thing for me, this is what I want, is marriage. I need somebody who can fully, authentically, 100% feel comfortable being themselves. I don't feel like I'm getting that from someone. That's like a turnoff to me. It creates this disconnect. So it's like, I don't need you to be Mr. Perfect. I don't need you to be Mr. Presidential. I need you to be someone who can really articulate how you're feeling and what you need from me so that I can give that to you. And if you can't do that, then we can't move forward like in our relationship. And that was super important to me. And I don't think I articulated that correctly during the show. And like I said, I think just from the minute when masculinity was connected with the mental health thing, it was just done for me.
Yeah.
You know what? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, especially during this day and age where mental health is such a buzzword right now in the Black community, and something that everyone is like kind of taking ownership and like, it's okay, go out there, get your therapy, like do the things to make yourself healthy, really. And so to hear that, it almost felt like a step back. So I can understand. It was like, what? We've come so far.
Karen is single-handedly taking the Black community backwards.
Yes.
Her alone.
Her
You know what, Karen? I want to say, to the point of, like, I feel like the moment you and Miles, you know, from the viewer's point of view, really hit a breakthrough was when he disagreed with you, and you were like, okay, now we get somewhere. Like, I have a firm belief that you don't have real relationships if you don't disagree, if you don't get into it, if you don't be, you know, like, nah, this is that, like, because then you're just putting the best version of yourself. So I actually saw that part and I was like, I get that. Because all my close friends, 10, 15 years, we done got into it, you know, because you start traveling with each other and stuff. You angry, me and Josh, I love Josh. But there have been some moments at 3 o'clock in the morning, ain't nothing funny. Everybody shut up. I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? We get petty and all that stuff. And I think for you, it really clicked. I was like, okay, now I'm seeing a person who is a whole individual, and nobody's happy and funny all the time. And also because I'm a great husband and a beautiful person, people always frame me like Miles. They always
actually that is true.
They always frame me as like,
that is
oh,
true.
Kevin is
he was
great.
being funny, but also
no, it's I
true.
got it. And I was like, oh, Kevin, you be basking in that sunlight a little bit. But my family, my friends, they see
Ninja, get it together. Because first of all,
right before the camera goes on, Angel been here and Josh, will my energy be trash? When the camera flicks on, you know, but when they be like, oh, Kevin's this and that. So I think it's even harder for Karen because they're like, oh, Maya, I love Maya. Boo, Karen, I do not like her. I would love Miles better than she can. And people be like, you don't even see the full version of people. And also the last thing, because I really commend you both, because when people, and we were people, like we're talent, but in this show, we are just like everybody else.
Right. Yeah.
We watch the show and we be like, oh, they tripping.
Right.
Oh, they doing good. Oh, I'm happy. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like we take off the influencer part and become just viewers, and we're affected the same way people. And I think that's why people like the review show, because we have the similar feelings as just the viewing public. It's very entertaining, but
come on and plug.
You have to really deal with the reactions of people. And that is not easy.
Sure.
No, especially if you're not used to doing it. Like if you've been, like if you all had already gotten used to being in front of the camera, you might already know, like, I have to disconnect myself from all of this because people are going to have their opinions and there's nothing I can do about that. But if you're just a person that works in the school system, that works in the health system, and you're thrown in this, you might be like, wait, no, hold on. Y'all don't know me like that.
Right.
So I can understand how it's even harder when you're not used to hearing other people's opinion on your life that ain't got nothing to do with you.
Right.
But go ahead.
And I think from my fault.
No, go ahead.
For me, it was tough too, because like I was a student athlete in college or high school, college. And so I was used to talking to like press or media or talking in front of a camera. So I was comfortable in front of a camera, but it was like, oh, we're talking about something that I'm doing on the field, right? It's objective. Like it's like, I did this or I didn't. We won or we lost. I did this or that. But then you're talking about my character, or you're talking about someone I care about's character. And that's when I'm like, oh, I'm not used to this. I'm not used to people thinking Miles is sensitive, or I'm not used to people thinking Miles is a bad guy, or having to defend myself and not being able to. And so that felt really bad to me as like as a supporter and a protector of a household. Now it's like, oh man, like how I can't say nothing about y'all trashing my wife right now. And then my family and friends are watching y'all trash my wife right now too. Like, and so that was really, really tough.
Yeah, that's just for me starting to step onto the camera with Angel's channel. That's one thing that I had to pull back from, because they would see out of an entire week or two, they would probably see me for like 2 or 3 minutes. And if I was in a mood, because I would run from the camera, like, I'm not here for that. Like this, everybody always be like, oh, Marcus is moody. He's this, he's that. I'm like, y'all don't know me. It's been like,
oh, go ahead. I love you though. You sweet as pie.
Karen, this is your number one hater. But yeah, like a lot of people and that's how they would do it. Is like, oh, Marcus, he ain't fun. He's always so serious. It's like, no, I'm actually a very silly, goofy person. He is most of the time. But this whole camera thing is not me, and I had to basically start ignoring it for one. Right, start ignoring it for one, but two, that's when I had to realize. Even I already knew this in marriage, but even when stepping in front of the camera, it's like, if I may give you a bit of advice, is don't let anybody in that doorway as far as influencing how you feel in your marriage, whether it's on the camera or whether it's friends or family. Like, close that door, and that's just y'all. Yeah. And like that's one thing, like me and Angel realized it was really great for us, like moving to California, living in California, and the rest of our family being in a completely different state. Because it's like, all right, yeah, we going through things. The last thing you need is you sitting down with your friends. It's like, oh, well, she should have did this. Well, he should have did that. No, it ain't none of y'all's business, actually. Yeah. Like, we gonna work through this, and it's just us. Yeah. So again, that's why I was able to defend Karen. I'm just like, hey, look, y'all need to chill out.
Honestly,
I get it.
If you really think about the premise of the show, right? Because people jump in like real crazy. But to meet someone, right? And I love Melissa and all, I mean, my favorite person in the whole world. But to meet someone that you are automatically married to, and you sleeping in the bed with them, and someone is recording you, that is a lot.
It's a lot.
At once.
Say what I can never.
Yeah, do. I even asked the question on here. I said, if we were put in this situation, y'all was coupled up, me and Angel was coupled up, would we have made it back then when we first started dating? I'm like, would we? Would y'all have made it?
Man, I don't know.
Would we have made it?
I would have gave up the draws, but I don't know if we would have made it.
Yeah, because I
been like this.
It would have been a great 3 weeks.
Yeah, and then he would have said something out of the side of his neck, and I've been like, well, annulled.
Well, it was good while it lasted. I have to admit. Thank you, Viviana. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr.
Dr.
Kim.
Cal, y'all be pepper. All right, y'all be good, man.
Stupid. Did you guys wanted to add anything, say anything?
Plug
and then I
anything?
had one more question. Yeah.
I think there was something I was gonna say to Marcus, but I forgot what it was. I feel like y'all are spot on with everything right now. So.
Well, let me ask you guys a quick question. I'm sorry, this wasn't on the agenda.
Go ahead.
Now that the show's over and a new season has started and people's attention is like, ooh, let me tell you about that person. Have y'all, has it been easier once the cameras are gone for good to really settle into that, husband and wife theme without having to do the show part of the marriage?
I can speak for me. Well, for me personally, so we're filming couples cam right now. So the cameras haven't stopped.
Okay.
So personally, just being honest, like I'm comfortable in front of the camera. I'll turn it on when lights come on, whatever. But I'm over it. Like I'm over all of it, And so I think that some of the people that stopped watching the season as soon as the season ended, now all of a sudden they see that we're on couples cam, they're like, oh, they stayed together, they're still together. And so it's like kind of reliving it again. People are like, oh, he's still with her, why he's still with her? Or like,
still? They don't follow y'all on the gram?
Apparently not. So they need to. They need to.
Well, be looking lovable.
Thanks, man. Thanks. We try. We know
hey, just
people.
Send them my way. I'll talk to them.
Go ahead, Karen.
Still get messages and comments like every single day.
What?
Yeah.
Even on y'all's YouTube channel, you can see like y'all have evolved. I was like, Karen, I was telling Melissa, I said, Karen's all lovey-dovey on Miles. It's so cute. He asked who was the most annoying. She said me. I was like, so you can see how much you all have evolved. If anybody's following you all, evolved since the decision day up until now. You can see that love has truly blossomed and grown since you all, well, y'all still in front of the camera, but since the season last ended. Like it's obvious to me at least.
Yeah. I think a tough part too is that like we were silenced for a long time, so we weren't able to speak on how we were feeling. And so now we're like, oh, we can clap back, right? But then we clap back and people are like, oh, you need to ignore the haters. You don't need to talk. This is what reality TV is. And we're like, well, we weren't able to talk for like 6 months. Now you're gonna get this.
Do it. Clap back.
I'm king clap back. That's what I do. Like,
yes, do it. Let it out.
I'm ready to clap back, but then I'm also like, I don't want to give y'all this energy, but then also like, you need to hear this real quick.
Listen,
so that
it's a tough wall to like.
You didn't land that saying,
that
did you?
mimosa came in.
97% champagne.
Yeah, yes, it's the champagne.
Heavy champagne.
The champagne.
It's a tough walk to line. Line to balance.
Just let it alone.
You had one more question.
I can't even remember because I felt like Kev's question was really good. But I did want to just say that you will always find yourself remembering what Michelle Obama said, which is when they go low, we go high, and trying to go high and fighting the urge. So are we limboing? Because if you can go low, child, I can go lower.
Some days
Ready to go
you
low.
gotta get it off
I
your
can
chest.
do both.
10% of the time, I go extremely low.
Sometimes when you go off on one person, this was for a lot of y'all. It's just this one person finna get it because sometimes us included, people be like, you be so wildly wrong.
Yeah.
Like, how'd you even
The audacity. Like
audacity.
Really gonna come and tell me that can I curse on here?
Yeah,
Go ahead, get it out, Karen, get it out.
Come and tell me I'm an ain't shit wife. Like you're gonna come in my comments and tell me that. Like some people gotta get cursed out.
And my response to that be like, well, you ain't shit, and I don't even know your name.
And you ain't even a wife.
So who ain't shit?
You ain't even a wife. And don't nobody even love you like that. Sometimes it feel good to get it out. So
a lot of times going off on one person makes it feel like you just clapped at everybody and then you can relax for like 6 months.
Right.
I'm working on it though. I'm working on it.
You working on it?
No, cuss them out, Karen. They deserve it.
This has been great.
This has been fantastic.
Man.
So before we close out, do you want to share with us your socials? So for the folks that are watching Couples Cam, they can follow y'all on the gram and see y'all in real life. situations. We see y'all hanging out with Amani and Woody, and we just be over because we're 4 friends too. We just be like, well, look at the black love.
Look at it. It's so
Just,
beautiful.
everybody come over here and just look. Taking Baskin Robin pictures and carrying on. So give them your socials and then anything that your YouTube page and anything else that you want to plug as far as upcoming events or shows or whatever have you.
Cool. Yeah. So I'm at the Miles Will on Instagram.
At k.land1.
Yep. And Miles and Karen on YouTube. Follow us there. And honestly, really, we're just trying to enjoy being married and continuing to learn each other. And also, we're trying to use this platform to be able to help others and support other people, whether that's through mental health, the Black community, supporting women. And so the funds that we get from either Cameo or Hop on the Call, each month we're donating to a different cause. So for example, in December, we adopted a family. A lot of our supporters and fans decided they wanted to support too. And if you can look on our YouTube channel, we supported a family of 4 people, well, 4 kids under the age of 6 and a single mom. And it was beautiful. It was awesome. This month, we're supporting community fridges. So we're donating all the money, so food, water, all this type of things in our community. And then February, we're gonna do something special with Black History Month. So stay tuned. Follow us on social media and just be a part of our family, part of our life. So
that's so great. That's so great. I am so glad I was wrong. I am so
Angel
glad
has literally said that though.
Extremely wrong.
Angel has literally said, I am so glad I was wrong.
I am. Out of all the people in the world, I'm glad I was wrong about Karen and that this worked out because this is beautiful.
You couldn't get no wronger.
Everybody was saying it. We was in the comments. They was like, "Boy, Angel she completely messed up."
They were actually jumping on Angel's bandwagon. That's where all the haters came from.
Yeah, because all we did is show love. That's all me and Marcus did.
That's all we did.
I cannot. Well, listen, Karen and Miles, thank you guys so very much for joining us. Congratulations on your upcoming 1-year anniversary.
5 years.
5 years.
5 years. Correct. Congratulations on 5 years of marriage that you did in 365 days. Thank you guys for joining us. Seriously, we actually really, really appreciate it. I hope you guys had fun. We're not like interviewee. We just kind of be talking. So I hope you guys enjoyed it.
I like this.
Cool. So thank you guys. Until the next video. Bye.
Bye.